Gonna show you a haul today, but also because it's some thrift store stuff. No estate sales this weekend. I think there's one next weekend, but that's what I'm seeing now, unless another one pops up. That one's not really that interesting to me. So maybe a couple of weekends we don't go to an estate sale, but I went to 2 thrift stores yesterday and 2 today, and a yard sale today and an antique store today. So the 2 thrift stores yesterday, I only got something from one, and today the 2 thrift stores, I only got something from one. And it's probably most of this haul is coming from that one thrift store. And I usually don't get a lot at thrift stores. A few things every now and again, but it's a pretty good haul from this one today. Jason is out and about. He's doing something with he and his brother in their little side job. So since this is going to be a short little haul and there's no shop along, we're going to do a recipe tagged on at the end of this video, or when we get through with looking at all our goodies. We'll do a recipe from, it's a cookbook, the Cooky book. And by now I should have already shown you this book in a previous video. So we're going to do a recipe from that, but we're going to go through this haul. Like I said, yesterday I was on my own. I went to a Goodwill, and I think it was a Habitat Restore. Didn't get anything at the Goodwill. But the Habitat, I got these little bunnies, and I'm pretty sure these came from Hobby Lobby. It was $2 for these little bunnies, and they'll go up until Easter. But I got a set of lambs last year, or excuse me, this spring when I was decorating for Easter. I got them from Hobby Lobby, and they were packaged just the same, so I'm pretty sure that's probably a Hobby Lobby thing. So the other thing was this, kind of surprising. They don't have a whole lot of housewares in this thrift store, in this rehab. This was the Habitat for Humanity thrift store. Excuse me. But they had this, and it does have a little bit, you can see the top. This is just kind of such crooked to me. But everything's intact. It's a little dirty. I haven't washed it out. And it does have a little staining on the on one handle. I haven't washed it, but I'm pretty sure that's staining underneath the glaze. On that end, a little bit of just general use staining on that end, but not too much. Anyway, I was looking up the stamp. Let me see if I can get it right side up for you to see it. It's Anchor Pottery, and I Google Lens the stamp because if you're like me, I've having to take into using readers on some things. I think I have the 1.5 or 1.50, 1.5, whatever it is, readers. So, and I don't carry them with me. They are over there by my chair, so if I get to reading something and my eyes start, then I put them on and I read. But brought it home, put my readers on, I still could hardly make it out. But I Google Lensed it. Apparently, Anchor Pottery was in production between 1884 and I believe 1926 in Trenton, New Jersey. So this would be, I guess, a big sugar dish. I'm guessing a big sugar dish. And if that is correct, to 1926, this at least is almost 100 years old. Shocking. It was, I want to say it was $3. I'm not sure. Now today, I went to a yard sale. I kept seeing a lot of yard sales pop up on Facebook. And there was one that was supposed to be like a community yard sale. It wasn't. I went, they were doing this because they're turning some kind of building into a women's shelter. Bravo for them. But there wasn't a whole lot to be had there. And that was the only yard sale I went to. And of course, after I get home, I pull up Facebook and I keep seeing pop-ups of yard sale, yard sale, yard sale. So anyway, the one that I did go to, I picked up this. It's almost like a bush. It was a Hobby Lobby originally, and they got it on clearance for $5.49. And I'll show you everything. I got 3 things, and I'll tell you what I paid for it all. But that was one thing. And I got this for my niece, probably next year, which it says ages 5 to 12, and she's 4, so it'll be great for her next year. And there's the ages. So that brand new, and never been out of the box. And I found this. There's a lot of Hobby Lobby stuff. I don't know if somebody just donated a lot of their stuff, or these people were crafters and they just were getting rid of some stuff. Anyway, it's another Hobby Lobby tag, reduced price to $4.99. I'm guessing it was some kind of supposed to be shadow box. You can see how deep it is. But I thought of just turning it into a tray. Not a serving, well, you know how you put stuff on your tables and you want them kind of corralled in one spot, tray. I thought about that, spray painting it a different color. But I do need to take off the hooks, which I'll keep those. They're screws, not nails. So I'll probably keep those for future projects. But yeah, I don't think I can put anything too heavy in it, but I think it'd be cute as a tray, just to hold stuff. So that, she said, because none of it was priced. So when I went to pay her, she said, well, let's do $8. And I took out a 20, and she said, ooh, that's, you know, I know you would come at me with a big bill. And I said, well, let's just say it's 10 and you'll have $2 for your donation. And she said, great. So she gave me she went to another building actually and got money and came back and gave me a 10. So left there, went to the other thrift store. And the first thing I found, and I'm bad about picking this stuff up. I like it because it's old, but this one was a little intriguing to me. It says Yule Tie, double face, high luster. Moistened slightly, pressed together, sticks to itself. Burlington Ribbon Mills. 37 cents originally. I think they charged me $1.25. So that's a heck of a return. 37 cents becomes $1.25 with a little bit of age. So I think it's kind of, I don't know, odd. I don't think I've ever seen any ribbon that says you moisten it and it sticks together, sticks to itself. So I got that because I actually want to see what it does. And then I picked this up. It's another, I picked several of these up, these red and green and white ones. I said, you know, it'd be great for Christmas. It's the older ribbon. And this was 75 cents. I pried the price tag off of that one really carefully. But I like the look of the ribbon. It's velveteen ribbon, satin backed, flocked velvet, fused edge satin back, made in the USA. But I thought that is a great color to have on hand for the fall. If you wanted to tie a ribbon around anything, any of this, great to have for the fall. So that was the first two things I picked up. Then I found this over in the kitchen stuff, and it was only $1. So it does say all-in-one, patent pending. I've seen these before. It looks in good shape. I don't see a whole lot of rust on it. If you wanted to use it, I don't think you'd be in danger. But I have a grater. This is, I guess, the kind you would fit on a bowl and just do your thing on the bowl. But you can see it was just $1. And then you can see the all-in-one right there. But great patina on it, and they'll just find a place of decoration here. I did pick this basket up. It was only $2, and I thought it looks kind of old. It is not old. It is kind of flimsy. Handmade, it looks to be. And it was only $2. I'll go ahead and show you the price. $2. But you can see it looks very handmade. So I picked this up and I actually was carrying everything around in it. I was just walking around with this stuff in it. And then I found this in the Christmas decorations. I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since we've ever had a Kmart. You can see the Kmart price. It was 50 cents. Does this not scream the 80s to you? 80s or 90s? That duck, the goose, whatever they are. Anyway, these will probably go to any of our eBay sales. I bought some of these in the past and just stick them in with eBay sales. So, and I have been saying that for a minute, but I've got to clean out that eBay store and relist some stuff. So this I got for Nanny. She is so into puzzles. She is 89. She reads fiction or romance novels. She does puzzles. She watches Pop get older every day, in between watching TV or getting up and doing things. But she has her own puzzle table in the living room, and it's one of those little intricate puzzle tables. It's got the little drawers off the side where you can put your extra pieces if you want to close it up for the night. She takes pictures of them. They pass them around to other family members. She is hardcore puzzle. So anyway, this was still sealed in plastic, as you can see. And it was only $3. And it says 1,000 pieces, high quality puzzles. That's what it says right there. Sorry about the light. But it is a Christmas scene. So I thought it's still sealed. So all the pieces should be there, right? So I got that for her. And then I thought, you know, everybody's kind of getting into puzzles. Why not try one? So I picked this one up. I think this is, yeah, $1.50. It's just a rose art, as you can see. Nothing spectacular, but it too is still sealed. The seal hasn't been broken on it. So all 5, and I didn't start off with 1,000 pieces. I am not that ambitious. So 500 pieces for, and I like flowers, so I thought I could do that. And then the last two things from this thrift store, their books are on sale for 50 cents. So I looked at these and I thought, oh, I don't know what I'll do with them. But I thought it's a dollar. For both of them, it's just $1. And if I get tired of them, I can always donate them back to Goodwill or something. So Christmas 1986. And it's interesting. I mean, it does have, I think this is a West Virginia, Governor's House of West Virginia, how it was decorated. And that is cool to me. If you notice, there's a Christmas tree and it goes up into a hole in the ceiling. So it actually goes up to the next floor. So yeah, you got decoration here and then it serves as a tree up there too. So that is in the Governor's House of West Virginia. And there's different, I think Louisiana has some places in here. It's just nice to see. 1986 was a long time ago. And then this one is 2005. Christmas with Southern Living. And this one, yep, same thing. I know they put them out every year. But I thought it'd be neat to look at also for display. But again, if you get tired of looking at them or they're not serving the purpose that you want, it's only $1 for both of them. I can always donate them. And then I went to an antique store. I went to the other thrift store. That is a rehab. I keep calling it a rehab. It's like a restore, rescue restore, something like that. Anyway, they have two of them there, and I went to the other one across town because it is close to one of my favorite antique malls. So I went to the antique mall after. I didn't get anything at the second one, so I went to the antique mall. And this was the first thing I picked up. And usually this booth, I really love going to this booth. Everything is set up so nice. But usually it's expensive. And I usually walk away empty-handed. I will say that. But she does have a lot of jewelry, antique and vintage jewelry, costume jewelry, real jewelry. But she did have a couple of hair clips. One was brass, which I didn't get it because I didn't know how it would look on my head. But I did get this silver filigree one. It's just not, I don't think it's anything old. Just that I had one in my hair today when I went shopping. And when I got home, I just put it up. But I like that. I think it was $6 for that. And this I found, I think it was $3 for this. And I don't know if it would have come off like a cookie tin or something. Anyway, I like it. We love horses around here. I love horses. Hay burners is what my husband calls them. He makes fun of me because I love hay burners. But he's got all kinds of pictures of cows and horses on his little junk room wall in there. And he might try to take possession of this. But it is a tin, as you can see. It was only $2.99, I think, in someone's booth. And I like the picture. And it's lightweight, so you can put one of those Velcro, whatever things are, and put it on your wall somewhere. Just to stick it somewhere. And the last thing, there's another booth across the store. Same thing, that it's always beautiful. Everything is always displayed so well. And again, a little too much for my taste sometimes. But today I did find something, and it's for cleaning. No, I'm not going to use it. I don't know how old it is. It does say Lola. Lola. I guess it's all the way around. Lola. And it does say on the back, I believe. So you can see the bristles. They've scrubbed many a pot and pan with this thing. I don't know why I have it in me to just buy stuff for cleaning or for kitchen or for function. I just love something that has a function. So I think it was $16. 16 and some change, maybe, from that. And then $10 from the yard sale, and then $5 something from the first thrift store, and $11 maybe from the second thrift store. So it doesn't take a lot of money to make somebody happy. It doesn't take a lot of money to make me happy if I can go in a thrift store and find one of these for $3. So we are going to wrap this up, this portion up, and then we're going to go over there and we're going to bake us some sweet treats out of that cookbook. So hold on for that. All right, so we're going to start our recipe portion of this off by showing you, here's our Betty Crocker's cookie book. I believe it was 1967, maybe 63, somewhere around in there. Anyway, on page 11, if you happen to have this book, page 11, there is a butterscotch brownies recipe. You can see how well this page was used. Anyway, this is going to be our recipe, and we're going to put it in the description. We'll type it in the description as well. But I already have all of our ingredients out. We're going to use, this is a cup of packed brown sugar. We've got 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Now the recipe in the book calls for gold medal. We don't use that around here. We use white lily. We're going to use, I believe, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of vanilla, which we're not going to measure. And that is 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Now it says 1/2 cup of walnuts. We don't keep walnuts in here at our house. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I've already made this recipe one time and I used pecans, so it was fine. I'm pretty sure you probably leave it out altogether if you have a nut allergy. But here is the star of the show. This is a 1/4 cup of melted butter. So we are going to, we're going to start off here. Let me take this out. And another thing I like about this recipe is you don't need any mechanical equipment. Certainly do not need to break out any big KitchenAids. You don't even need your handheld little whizzer thing, you know, that your handheld blender. You can do this strictly by hand, and that's one of the reasons that I like this recipe is, let's get an egg. It calls for 1 egg, fresh out of the chicken's butt this morning or today. Anyway, you have pretty much all of this in your house, I'm sure, and you don't need any special equipment to do it. This is basically what you're looking at right here, and most of everybody has this in their cupboard. So we're going to mix our melted, and this calls for either, you can use butter, which we have, or margarine, which I never buy margarine, it's not allowed in the house, or you can use vegetable oil. So if you don't have butter, you can use margarine. If you don't have margarine, you can use vegetable oil. If you're using butter or margarine, you have to melt it to start with. If you're using vegetable oil, you just dump it in there. So here's our cup of packed light brown sugar. Wow, I got that packed. We've made these once before. They're not going to be a very thick brownie at all. So we're just going to kind of get the brown sugar and the butter all together. I don't know, that's aggravating. Let's see here. We can get all that out. Now we're going to take our egg. Ooh, put that down there in our composter. Loosens everything up just a little bit. I do have a clump or two of brown sugar, but that'll work out in just a second. So these will not be thick brownies. I think I've already told you that. But they do have a very good flavor to them. Now, it calls for sifting your flour, and you can see how I use my sifter. I just put it on a saucer. And that's the 3/4 of a cup of white lily. We're going to use teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's 1/2 teaspoon, I believe. Yep. So these ingredients, I mean, you have it in your house, and they're not going to break the bank. If you do any kind of baking at all, you've got baking powder and salt and sugar and all that. So, crap. So now it does call for a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just using the cheap old imitation vanilla. And we're not going to measure this. It's going to be just a goob. Go ahead and stir that in. We're going to take our sifter. If you get down to just little balls of flour, just take your I'll go ahead and take that off the saucer. Just gotta blend that in. Ooh, I always make a mess. I think the first time I did this, I was slinging flour out of the bowl. And we're going to take our pecans. And of course, like I said, it calls for walnuts. We don't have those. And you could probably get away with not putting them in there at all if you have a nut allergy. So, that's what we're looking at. It's like chunky peanut butter, doesn't it? And this is what we're going to bake it in. It's an 8x8x2, what I call my brownie pan. I bought this at a estate sale or yard sale or something one time. If you go to estate sales and you find stuff that you collect or something that's valuable, sometimes you can just walk away with everyday, ordinary items for cheap. This is a Pyrex dish, so I don't know what it would have cost if I bought it brand new somewhere. But we're going to go ahead and take our mix out. I try to scrape everything. Sorry, I'm giving you a butt end of the bowl there, but I watch those cooking shows. Have you ever watched them on TikTok or whatever, and they just dump stuff out and they don't ever go back and try to scrape out what's left? They didn't get raised by my mother because she scraped the bowl. Promised you could have the bowl to lick and then scraped it clean. So that's the way I grew up. Try to get as much out of it as we can. And it's not going to look like much. Like I said, it's not going to be a very thick brownie. I don't know if today's temperature is going to affect it. We have gotten into cooler weather, upper 70s. The wind has been blowing like nobody's business for the last few days. Yesterday it was so cold outside, I couldn't even get out and in shorts. I had to come in real quick. I was out there trying to herd chickens back into the pen, and I was like, you're just going to have to go up on your own tonight because it's just too cold to be out here. Thankfully. Not that I am complaining at all. So we have preheated our oven already to 350. And I like to wipe the edges of my pan off where I might have gotten some of that releasing spray. So it's not cooking on the handles there. So now I'll show you. I put in the oven. Don't even look at my oven. It needs to be cleaned. I know it. Put in the oven for, it says 25 minutes. And I think the last time I cooked these, I had to go all the way of 25 minutes. So that's what we're going to set it on. And we'll bring you back whenever they're done. So our, I don't know why I tossed it over here. I tossed my hot pad over there. And there you can see our finished product. And no, it's not burned. It's just, let me cut that oven off. It's just not very, very thick. So that is a butterscotch brownie. Some people may call them blondies. I don't know if that's the same thing as a blondie or not. But we're gonna let it sit for a minute and cut it. Husband should be home a little later. So when he gets home, we'll probably have some supper and maybe cut a piece. But that's it for us at South Georgia Home. Thank you for watching our thrift haul and our recipe. So until we see you again, thank you.